So is that us done? Dusted? Yep, that's the credit roll. Designed and developed by Techland Rocklaw. Paul Marchekwa. Bangs that go bump in the night.
Do you?
Yep, this song's gonna start playing. Voodoo, you voodoo, bitch. It's funny. So it is a Polish game, as you can see from the names. Grzegorz Swidwacki. Lots of weird letters. What's that L with the cross through it? Anyway, we're done with this game. I don't know whether to let the credits roll or not. They're kind of distracting me. I'm just going to take these headphones off so I don't hear the music. Anyway, what I have to say about the game, it was a lot longer than I expected. But I did enjoy it. It was I've never played Left 4 Dead. It's kind of like those games, but I've never really played them before. I did actually end up buying Left 4 Dead 2 after I bought Dead Island, just to try it out. I couldn't really get into it that well, but this game is pretty similar, only more modern than Left 4 Dead 2, obviously, just a little bit more new. But it's its own sort of game, because you can drive about. I don't think you can drive in Left 4 Dead 2, which is a real pity, because the driving parts in this game were the best for me. Really enjoyed that, because you didn't have to use weapons. It's a bit of a shame that they didn't have guns at the start of the game, because they were kind of the best weapons in the game. They're just so, like, I've never seen weapons so well, such a hit to them, you know, they have such depth isn't the right word, but they feel like they pack a punch, you know. They feel like real solid, well done. Like in some games you have weapons that they just don't feel right. It's like here it just feels right, basically. So I enjoyed that. The guns, amazing. Some of the bugs weren't so amazing, but it was a bit repetitive in some parts. I mean, I wouldn't have liked to have to do all the side quests. I kind of skipped some of the side quests and continued with the main quest after I realised how long the game was. It turned out a lot longer than I expected. I expected to do about 40 episodes of this, and I've probably done about, I don't know, 80 at this point. And some of those are 20 minutes, some of those are 30 minutes even. So it's a pretty long game. You can actually look in my playlist and see the total hours it took to complete this. So you'll see playlist length, it'll say how many hours. It was good. I like the RPG aspect. I wasn't expecting that from this game. When I bought it, I thought it was just going to be like hack and slash, not bothering with RPG. So that was a nice little addition. Made it more interesting. But repairing weapons cost too much. Definitely, they should have kind of halved the prices it cost to repair your weapons, especially early on when you had very little money. It was a bit steep. I say a bit. It was very steep. But yeah, it's a very cathartic game. It's very, very enjoyable, just running zombies over in your car. Very fun, and it's meant to be played co-op really, but I played it single player, which was kind of hard in certain places. I don't think the difficulty changes depending on how many people you play with. I think it stays the same, so yeah, it's pretty much like playing on hard mode, because there is no difficulty setting in this game. It's just kind of weird actually, because most games nowadays have a difficulty setting, so I would have liked to see that, unless I missed that. I don't think I did though. I looked through all the options and didn't see a difficulty setting. So yeah, I think I've said all I need to say about this game. The voice acting was a bit off, but I still enjoyed it. It was pretty solid, yeah. Especially the guy I was playing, probably one of the best voices. Well, the rest not so much. Just actually, if you play it a while, you kind of get into it, so it becomes normal, as it would be with anybody. If you hear someone's voice for the first time, it's like kind of weird, and then you get used to it, and then you like it. It's sort of works like that sometimes, unless they have a really good voice, or else a really not good voice. That's just annoying. Yep, that's about all I have to say. If I was going to score it, I'd give it 8 out of 10. The final boss fight was not so great, I don't think, because the guy just kept running at me. Like, and he didn't even give me a breather. I mean, I couldn't even dodge that. There's no way. Too fast. If you had a group of 4, it would be easier, no doubt, because you could kite him with one guy and then shoot him with another guy. But I could see that being extremely easy with 4 people. I don't see... There must be... The difficulty must change with 4 people. It must. If someone could clear that up, it would help. Is the difficulty exactly the same if you're playing with 1 person, or if you're playing with 2, 3, 4, or 5 even? Can't you play this with 5? I'm not sure. I'm sure it would be a lot of fun with 5 people, but I don't want to replay this just to do it co-op. Once is enough. It was good to play the game for the game, and not just, to get the experience of the game, as it was, well, not as it was intended. It was intended as a co-op game. But I managed to play it single player. Well, you can. There's the option to play it single player. It's an option, but the main focus was on co-op. Clearly, with this game, with all the seating arrangements in the car, you had 4 seats in every car. I think 4 was it, and then just tons of mobs coming at you. Well, it seemed. I would say that would be medium difficulty actually for most of the game, except the very end was quite hard. I died quite a lot. The fact that you come back to life after 10 seconds is kind of weird. In a lot of games, well, older games, you would have just came back at the start of the level, so it would have put you right back. That would have pissed people off. It did piss me off, so I have to admit I really like that you get respawned after 10 seconds, kind of like a multiplayer game. Like this is a co-op game, but a multiplayer, like a shooter, like Call of Duty or something, or Battlefield. So you get respawned after 10 seconds after you die. So it works within the confines of this game, certainly, as it's a mainly co-op game. Yeah, this is a long credit roll. I'm very quickly running out of things to say. I think all that remains to be said is thanks for watching, and I won't be doing the DLC of this. Arena, there's Arena DLC. Got a taste of that with the Tribal Arena with Ope's Arena, which was a couple of chapters back. That was pretty fun, but I can't see that being that fun sustained if it got much harder, because it wasn't that hard. I just used my Fury and kind of cheesed it. With Fury, you do kind of cheese things with Fury, because it's just so overpowered. You just activate your Fury and swing at things. The only thing is, if there's a thug about, it'll knock you on your ass, like I said. And if there's a burster, you don't want to be hitting that up close, it'll just explode you. Yeah, very enjoyable game. I think they're working on a sequel to this. It'd be good to see if they could polish it a bit more, because there were some glaring bugs, like with the textures and stuff, and some of the cutscenes were totally screwed up. But that's only minor complaints, because the overall package was very well done. The driving, usually driving in games like this is terrible, but in this game it was pretty damn spot on, awesome. Just turning could have been a bit tighter, a bit more arcadey. It was a bit more realistic turning, which I guess sort of adds to the realistic aspect of this. Like it's like you can imagine something like this happening. Not really, but an outbreak of swine flu or something. So it kind of puts you more into the reality side of things with this game, rather than the fictional side. With unrealistic games, it's more realistic, I'd say. Like the glaring light and stuff. It's nice how they used that instead of, like most zombie games, it would be darkness. But in this game, you couldn't see for a different reason. It was the glaring light. But I think it was a bit overused, in my opinion. A bit too glaring, so kind of annoyed me a few times. So they could have toned that down a bit, in my opinion. But otherwise, I'm glad I let's played this, because it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. Enjoyed the multitude of weapons. There's so many different weapons, like, and finding legendary weapons and upgrading them and creating your own weapons. The only thing is, I didn't really do the creating side because I was tended to be out of money and didn't have the exact materials required. They could have made that a bit more free, a bit more open, where you could use alternative items to make, like if you didn't have a certain item, say, you could use another item in that item's place. My friggin' phone's ringing right now. This is perfect timing. Not. I'll pick it up later. That's distracting. Totally lost my train of thought now. Great. No, I was gonna say, like say a special saw blade requires a specific item, like a piece of string, say, even though it doesn't exist. So you could replace that with a piece of rope. Like if you had a piece of rope, you wouldn't have to use the piece of string, because you hadn't found the piece of string, but you found the piece of rope, so you could have replaced that. They could have made it a bit more accessible that way, but because it was too specific and too many items, I think, were required. There was like 5 different items you had to combine, and I didn't really like that. But I suppose if I'd actually paid more attention to it, I could have made better use of it and made some nice weapons. But I did tend to find it's nice to have the option to use that or not. You don't have to use that, like you can just find awesome weapons lying about in chests generally. Like I found 3 legendaries, which was nice. Didn't get a legendary weapon, and you can also get good weapons from quests, completing quests. Like I completed a few side quests at the end there, got epic shotgun and stuff. That's the credit roll done, finally. I have nothing left to talk about, so thanks for watching, and that's the end of Dead Island. Hope you enjoyed, and as always, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and have a nice day.